Hi, in this video I'm going to talk to you about Vata Dosha and how it manifests physically, so in the body, how it manifests physiologically, how your body functions, and then how it manifests in the mind. There's so much to say about this, but this is just an introduction, remember. So I've spoken about Vata before. Vata is made up of air and ether, and it's responsible for movement and energy, expression, imagination. So a Vata person, the gifts that a Vata person has is that they're creative, they're enthusiastic, they're imaginative, they're perceptive, and they're inspiring visionaries. The challenges for Vata is this tendency to move really quickly, to get nervous, to get agitated, to get overwhelmed. And remember, there's an old saying that, if you know yourself well, then you're going to be able to take the steps to bring yourself back into balance. It's an old Greek saying, like I'm an old Greek talking to you about Ayurveda. So remember that this is about getting a deeper understanding of who you are and then using the practices to bring yourself back into balance, and then now you're the one who's in charge of your own health. So let's begin with body characteristics. Vata's come into the world light. Light is one of the qualities that we use to describe Vata. So that means generally light body frame. They're the ones who tend to be long and lean, and long and lanky. There's a tendency for them to run thin. A true Vata will run thin. So that means that you might see, elbows and knees are protruding and clavicle is protruding. That's their natural tendency. Because they run light and because they have low weight, they also tend to be cold. Their skin tends to be thin and they tend to feel cold because their circulation, particularly their peripheral circulation, sometimes it doesn't function really well. So in winter, they'll complain about having cold toes, cold fingers. But even in summertime, they're carrying layers with them because they just feel the cold really easily. As far as their hair is concerned and their nails, there's a tendency for the hair to be thin. They might have a lot of it, but there's a tendency for hair to be thin. Nails can break easily and become dry and brittle. And that's again just a quality that Vata has. So they have lightness, they also have a dryness to them. Their facial features are interesting. They can have like really long face, long nose, small eyes, small eyelashes. Again, this is a tendency of this lightness, okay? That's part of Vata. Let's have a look at how their body functions. Physiologically, they have a light appetite, so they don't get hungry, or let me say they forget to eat, especially when they go down a rabbit hole. Food is not important to them because they're so excited about life. They get so engrossed in the projects that they're doing that they forget to eat, and it's only when they feel lightheaded that they're like, oh yeah, dang it, it's 6 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. So we need to keep them eating on a regular basis. And then there's a tendency for them to also be, if they have a light appetite and they have a light body, it means that they're going to have a light elimination. Vatas tend to skip days. My classic joke is that Pittas are like in and out of the bathroom really quickly. Kappas are in there and they're reading a magazine, and Vatas are like, what's a bathroom? What do you mean I'm supposed to poop every day? Yes, you're supposed to eliminate every single day. And the reason that Vatas tend not to is because you always got to go back. They tend to have sporadic eating patterns. They don't have regular eating patterns, and they tend to be attracted, as we all do, to the foods that mimic us. So Vatas love salads, they love cold foods, they love raw food, and what happens is those foods have similar qualities to their body. And so cold food's going to make you cold if you run cold. And raw food is going to dry you up even more. So Vatas need to have warm, cooked, unctuous foods. So then along with this light appetite, light elimination, light sleep, meaning that they have issues with sleep. Not always, but that it can become an issue for them. And for Vatas, the problem is that they can fall asleep, but they're so sensitive to their environment that they'll wake up with the slightest sound, and then they may have difficulty in falling back asleep. And you know, the light sleep means that, if you don't get enough sleep, what that does is that long term it can be depleting to the body. So then as far as physiology is concerned, I said light appetite, light elimination, light sleep, usually dry skin, cold body temperature, sexual activity, kind of variable. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If you're a woman, menses, that also tends to be light. There could be an irregularity to it. You know, so your cycle might either be really short or really long. Again, irregularity is something that happens with Vata. Let's talk about their mind. So on the positive note, happy, enthusiastic, love new things. They love variety, really good at learning things. Information comes in really easily. It comes in, they're able to kind of, ingest it and make it their own. When they're out of balance, they start lots of projects, but not very good at finishing them. They can take information in, but they forget where they put the car keys. Or, I always tell my husband, he's like, I don't remember where I put the car keys. And my saying is, you don't lose things, you just misplace them. They forget where they put things. So information can come in really quickly, but then they can forget it really quickly as well. Speech tends to be fast when they're out of balance, so they speed up. You might notice in these videos that sometimes I speed up. That's the Vata. So they talk fast, they think fast, they walk fast, they go from one project to the next. But again, we're always looking at actions and consequences. When you take these actions, are the consequences balanced? If you start lots of things but are not good at finishing them, if you're constantly, and they love change, they love new. And again, you're always looking at consequences, so they can change jobs often, which is a good thing sometimes because you're looking for the right thing. But if in a lifetime you're constantly changing jobs, you might want to have a look at that. They change where they live. They'll change relationships a lot. They love lots of, my joke with Vatas is they love lots of clothes. They love to shop. They're bargain hunters, big time bargain hunters. They've got clothes in their wardrobe with tags still on them. They have somewhere to go and they're like, oh my God, I don't have anything to wear. So they love that kind of variety. Their personalities are really lovely and lighthearted. When they're out of balance, there's a tendency towards fear, anxiety, overwhelm, rumination, thoughts going over and over again. And this is just the mobile quality of Vata. Okay, that's just the moving too quickly. And Vata has this affinity with the nervous system as well. So what we want to do is we want to keep them warm, keep them calm, keep them regular, and then what you do is you bring out all of the beautiful qualities of Vata and you learn how to balance it. So I hope this was useful for you. As I said, the body, again, Vatas are going to be generally the thin, slender, happy, go lucky, light appetite, lots of relationships, lots of friends, visionaries, lots of ideas. That's all their good qualities, and what we have to pay attention to is we want to create regularity, we want to make sure that they're warm enough, we want to make sure that they're focused, and we want to make sure that their nervous system is calm. So that's it for now, and more will be revealed later.